Yes, thoroughly. Hello.
Okay, you can just sit anywhere. It's free sitting. Oh wow.
Yeah. So
Oh, wow.
relaxing.
It's free sitting. Hi.
Yeah, I think the two of them.
Okay. Welcome to today's workshop. My name is Deon Koh. I'm the asset manager. Most of you will not find me unfamiliar. We have met during our monthly asset manager meeting. This is a chance where the asset team actually get updates from people from the shopping malls on the performance of the malls. Of course, you know we have to do our reporting back to our stakeholder as well. Okay, so without further ado, let's start. Okay, some administration matter. Please ensure that you all sign your attendance form. It's important for us as well to plan for our training calendar. Alright, facilities, toilets are located at every floor. You can just exit from the main door and turn left. Okay, pantry is located just outside the classroom. There's hot and cold drinks at the vending machine. Please feel free to help yourself. Do remember to do your safe entry check-in and observe all safe distancing measures. Okay, touch wood, but a short tip or a short note on safety. In the event there's any emergency that you need to evacuate from the building, please, there's 2 fire escape routes that you can use. Please do so in a calm and orderly manner. Okay, some ground rules before we start. Please silence all your devices. I know tenants are hogging you all, but you have to be here physically and as well as mentally. Okay, if you really need to take a phone call, please step outside. Okay, and one person speaks at a time. We will try to answer everyone's question, but time is very tight. So in the event we are able to do so, please feel free to put your question down on the two sheets here, and we can come back to the question later on. Okay, let's be respectful to all opinions and equal judgment. We start on time and we strive to end on time. Okay, clear on the rules?
Yes.
Alright, so most of you will have known each other because based on the staff list, right? You all will have called each other to exchange for information, exchange tenant contact. But it's time for us to match the names to the faces. So I would like to do a little activity since it's after lunch. Let's move around a bit. Okay, I have placed a bar of chocolates in front of every one of you. So I'd like you to find your own colleagues who have the same type of chocolates and form into 2 groups. So you have a bar of Kit Kat and a packet of Smarties. So these Smarties you can gather and sit on this table on my left, and for Kit Kat you can sit on this table. So if everyone is clear, let's find your own name. Yes, feel free to enjoy the chocolates, yeah? Dessert after lunch. Okay. Since now both of you have been split into 2 groups, I would like to begin your own group. Do a short introduction of yourself. Introduce yourself and then write your name, which mall you're currently stationed at, you know, how long have you been in the company, etc. Get to know each other because you'll be doing some group work later on. Okay, please share with each other. Okay, great. Now that we all know, everyone completed introducing yourself?
Yes.
So I want to get all your names right. Michael, Shariel, Jeffrey, Glenn, and Rinoka. Welcome all to the session today. So you must be thinking, why are we here on a Saturday afternoon, right? We should be going patrolling, right? Okay, so the objective today is to, it's end of the year, so it's really critical for us to group together, reflect on what we have done, or rather what we have not done either, and to plan what is the strategy for the next year. So we want to review our current position of our mall as well as how competitive are we, and we're going to use a tool to help us today coursework. And the next session, we shall look at applying the 6 factors on how to carry out a tenant mix. So what is our ultimate goal we are trying to achieve here? As retail mall managers, we are trying to attract and retain shoppers in our shopping mall. So this brings me to the next question. Michael, what do you think? Which one comes first, tenant or shoppers?
Should be tenant.
Tenant? Good. Someone from here?
Shoppers.
Shoppers? Good. Okay, this is like the chicken and egg question. Which comes first? It's very interrelated. Both of them have to be together in order to make a more sustainable. So for these two group of people, what are the type of factors or the consideration when we talk about shopping mall? The location, is it a neighborhood mall, a mall in Orchard area? The demographics are different. The accessibility, is it accessible by public transport like the MRT, buses? And if you notice, some shopping malls even have to provide free shuttle service to bring shoppers into the mall. And the design of the mall, is it aircon and outdoor? Although we try to be energy efficient, but imagine you eating your meal under the hot sun and you're sweating away. The shopping experience wouldn't be great. And last but not least, how about the facilities? It's not like unlike the traditional times whereby you go into a shop, you get what you want, you feel very happy, you walk out of the shopping mall. Now we are looking at the total shopping experience. So even the simple playground, right? We don't have just normal playground, we have to have a dry and a wet playground, and you can take out the whole rooftop. Alright, and of course the clustering of shop, is it working for your mall? Are you having desirable tenants that bring in the shoppers that you want? Alright, and of course we have to anticipate what is the brands and the trends that are coming up, as well as what you're trying to create. Okay, so retail sales has been quite challenging, all of us know that. Okay, so but at the same time, credit to people like you all, so that's why we are able to evolve and we are able to react to changes. So what is the new retail norm right now? So I put out an article from Today Online. The header reads, malls change tag to draw crowd. Never mind if they aren't there to shop. So if shoppers are not coming to shop, why do we need tenants? So the retail scene has changed. So right now we are encouraging shoppers to come into the mall. They are still living with a purchase, but it may not be a physical purchase. What are we selling here? We are selling experiential retail. Shopper come in, they experience, they get something, they buy an experience and they leave. So other than mall managers ourselves that are doing something, as well as we are evolving, how about tenants? How do you make yourself desirable to the landlord as well? So I'm going to show you a little video, a short video of how this shop, this restaurant, gets a makeover using new retail technology. The sound alright? I think you are familiar with Kobe, they are a subsidiary of Alibaba. SWOT to help us. So SWOT stands for strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So strength and weaknesses, right, are usually more on the internal factors, whereas for opportunities and threats will be more on the external factors. So how can SWOT help us? It will be able to help us with assess what is our current position before we make plans, take the next move. We take advantage of what we have now and make the most out of it. We reduce the chances of failure. No one says that we'll be 100% success. We are trying to anticipate what is the risk that we will face and eliminate any hazard that we can avoid. To bear in mind, some failure can be costly to the organization. And last but not least, we hope to craft a strategy that will distinguish ourselves from our competitors. So far, everyone okay? Michael, okay?
Yes.
Thank you. Maybe you want to put your phone aside because we are going to do a little practice later on. Okay, so how do we go about doing a SWOT? So in the next video, you may want to take some notes as well because this will actually help you in your activities later on. Okay.
organisation needs a clear strategy in place for growing its business, and every person needs career focus and direction. But how do you know where to start? This is where SWOT analysis comes in useful. SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats. By analysing these 4 areas of your business or career, you'll be able to cut through the noise and focus on what really matters. You can use SWOT analysis to identify a niche in the market or to help you develop your career. When you understand your strengths and weaknesses, you can exploit the most relevant opportunities and manage threats that may otherwise have surprised you. To start your SWOT analysis, you'll need a piece of paper, or you can print off the free worksheet at mindtools.com. Give yourself time to consider each of the 4 areas in depth and try to be as realistic and rigorous as you can. Starting with strengths, ask yourself some key questions. What advantages do you or your organisation have? What do you do better than anyone else? What do people in your market see as your strengths? Moving on to weaknesses. Ask yourself, what could you improve? What should you avoid? What factors lose you sales? What do outsiders see as your weaknesses? Next, you'll want to consider where your best opportunities lie. What interesting trends are you aware of? What advantages might arise from changes in technology, government policy, social patterns and the like? And this is really important. What options do your strengths open up for you? Finally, threats. Ask yourself what obstacles you or your organisation face. What is your competition doing that you should be worried about? Do you have bad debt or cash flow problems? And what threats do your weaknesses expose you to? When you're making your lists, be precise and prioritise. So the most important points are at the top. You'll find that your strengths and weaknesses are often internal, while opportunities and threats often relate to external factors.
Okay, I've paused the video. Okay, so right now we will have an idea of how we can conduct the SWOT. So just a recap of what the video has shared. Before you engage on the SWOT, decide on an objective, do your background work, do your research, list down strengths and opportunities, as well as your strengths and weaknesses. Remember, there's no right or wrong. We be open mind and welcome all multiple perspectives, establish your priorities and develop a strategy. So right now we hope to put this into practice, to do a little brainstorming in your group. So in each of your group, right, separate into Team KitKat and Team Smarties, right? Okay, so I would like you to do a SWOT analysis on the current position for North Point City. Team Smarties, can you list down the factors relating to strength and weaknesses? And for Team KitKat, can you do focus on opportunities and threats? And after that, we can have a sharing later on. So shall we take about a minute to do so?
Sure.
Thank you. Everything okay here? Wait 10 seconds to wrap up. Are you guys doing okay?
Yes.
Yes, good. Alright. Now can we have both teams to put up your answer on the whiteboard here? Thank you. Michael and Jeffrey, would you like to share what you have written for your group? Maybe you can start with the strength and weaknesses first.
Okay, what we discussed our group, right? We have a strength and weaknesses point for the SWOT. First strength is our good traffic count. Second thing is in the mall we have a ample car park lot. Good anchor tenant, 400 retail tenant, and next to MRT. For the weakness, our point is a similar track, high turnover, insufficient license signage, no care identity. We only got one city counter. in the
Thank
mall.
you very much. How about for opportunities and threats?
Okay, for opportunities, for North Point, there's a North Park residence with 920 units within the mall itself. And we also realize there are a lot of new BTO and condos coming up from that area. Yeah, and also at Individual Library. These are opportunities we have identified. And also for threats wise, there are many malls coming up around that area. And tenants may be outflow. And I think the mall also facing manpower retention challenge. And also a lot of rules and regulation changing.
Thank you very much, Jeffrey. So from what we have done earlier, very good job for pointing out so many pointers in such a short time. But for referencing, maybe next time like good anchor tenants, you all can put down which are the anchor names. In case there's midway change in tenancy, you all can have something to refer to. Likewise for newer malls, which are the malls that you deem as threats, and you can do your research on it. So basing on the exercise we have done earlier, do you think we really need to carry out SWOT in a specific order?
No.
No.
The answer is no. Basically, as long as you cover all four factors, it should be able to give us a good idea of where we are. Okay, so since we have done this SWOT analysis for North Point City already, let's not waste it. From all these four factors, are you able to give me two examples that you would use to attract potential tenants to take up a space in the shopping mall? For example, upcoming BTOs and condominiums, because they are potential tenants or shoppers. Maybe team, Aunties, you want to share? One example?
Opportunity, I think is great. Anchor tenant. Yeah.
So you use that to sell to your tenants? Okay, how about for this team, Ethan?
The neighborhood development, new neighborhood.
True. Which is the upcoming units that you can see.
That's right, yeah.
Okay, great.
And also the nearby North Park residents. Yeah.
Yeah, that is immediate catchment that you can tap on right now. Alright.
MRT as well. Just being next to the MRT will also increase people coming.
Good. Now I think all of you are expert on SWOT. So do you think this session is actually is helpful for you? Something that you can bring back and share with your colleagues at work?
Yes, definitely.
Great. Okay, so now do you have any further questions before I move on to my last slide? No? Okay. So in summary, what we covered today on SWOT is to help us to understand our positions better, address our weaknesses. At the same time, we look at how we can deter our threats, capitalize on our opportunities, and as mentioned earlier, take advantage of our strengths. Consider your competitors, be hard on yourself, but at the same time, please be realistic. Okay, and also prioritize your result by listing them. There's always a lot of things that we want to do, but as per mentioned earlier, we need to prioritize them in order so that we have the balance between what we need and what we want. Okay, last but not least, of course, we hope to develop goals and strategies to achieve them. It is important. We are not saying that you'll be 100% great, but you can have different SWOT to achieve different objectives. So you can do up different SWOTs. Okay, and then bear in mind that SWOT is not really a conclusion, but the beginning of the hard work, because all of you will have to go back and think about what you need to do. Okay, that being said, a very realistic example, who watched the news last night? You watched the news. So, did you all saw the interview about Robinson?
Yes.
Yes, about Robinson closing down, right? So there was a very big, there's two parties. One is very sad about Robinson closing down. Then there's another group of people who is very, who is not affected, because to them it's like I still have PhD, I still have other options. So this is something for you all to think about as well. Like when you're looking for your anchor tenants, it's really like how to say, is that Robinsons, all these people, and is it somebody you want to still bring it in? And is it really the day of retail? Okay? And last but not least, please bring it back and share with your team. And if you have really any questions, please feel free to drop me an email or give me a call and we can discuss that further. Thank you very much for your time. Stop video. Thank you.